it is good to have an end to journey towards, but it's the journey that matters in the end. Ernest Hemingway. Welcome to Daily Magic, a cozy corner of the world where you're invited to rediscover and experience the abundant magic that dances through your life. This podcast is slow living wrapped in sparkles, self-love woven with inspiration, and mindfulness dipped in wonder. So brew up a cup of tea in your favorite mug, settle into your comfiest chair, and join me, Shainawexler, as we allow ourselves this respite to romanticize our lives and revel in daily magic. Hello, my beautiful friend. If we've heard it once, we've heard it 1,000 times. Ralph Waldo Emerson's insightful yet very overused quote, "It's not the destination, it's the journey." And we know. But while we all nod our heads and mutter, yeah, that's so true, and agree with it in theory, how many of us actually know how to practice that truth? And how do we truly live it in this fast-paced world where just getting from point A to point B feels like about as much as we can handle? What if I told you that there is a daily, often overlooked occurrence that we can use as a powerful means to help us learn how to practice being present in, embracing, and loving the journey in a truly practical way? Today, we are tapping into the magic of traffic. Yes, traffic. And before you click off this episode feeling quite certain that this is the least cozy theme of all time, I invite you to see if perhaps this episode can help you transform the way that you think about your time spent on the road. So, what better way to practice loving the journey than by learning to love our literal journey? When we hop into the car with our overstuffed work bag and a thermos of coffee, we have somewhere to be, and our vehicle is our means of getting to that place. Which means that most of the time, we view our commutes simply as a way to reach that all-important destination. So, because of this, while we're driving, we usually abandon the present moment that we're in and get this kind of mental head start on our destination. We are already there before we even get there, right? We're thinking things like, do I need eggs? I don't think I put it on the list. I'll just go in and grab a few things. If I can get in and out under 20 minutes, I'll still make it to pick up on time. I hope they're not out of my favorite yogurt again. And I should have just enough time to grab a coffee before the meeting. Oh, shoot. I forgot to send out that batch of emails last night. Okay. I'll just do that during lunch. If I can just get through my presentation, then I can breathe. But what if the act of driving, the act of the journey itself, could become something that we actually look forward to? What if we could transform our time in transit, that neither here nor there space, into an occasion? A small, sacred window that draws us gently into the richness of the present moment. With just a little thoughtfulness, even the most ordinary car ride can become a sanctuary of coziness, a place where presence and comfort and care meet us right where we are. So, let's start out by giving our vehicle a bit of an energetic makeover. And rest assured, you do not need to have some fancy luxury vehicle in order to turn your soccer drop off into an occasion worth being present for. You don't need sleek interiors and seat warmers and self-driving features or Bluetooth. I myself own an old 2010 with zero bells and even fewer whistles. When I bought my used car, it turned out that for whatever weird reason, the previous owner had even removed the mirrors in the sun visor flap. So it's not exactly a picture of opulence, but I own it and it gets me from place to place and it kept me safe in a highway car accident. So it does the job and I truly do appreciate and value it. So all of that being said, I've found ways to make my drives genuinely enjoyable and even something I look forward to now. And for me, this started with self-love and a little preparation. Just checking in with myself to see what I might need to feel comfortable and cared for, and dare I say it, cozy. So before we dive into some ideas that I have to add magic into your vehicle, it's important to note that self-love is the foundation of learning to love the journey. All the fuzzy dice and snacks and tunes and air fresheners in the world can't make us love the journey if we aren't investing in loving ourselves. When we practice self-love, we develop a kind, compassionate relationship with ourselves, which means we're more willing to slow down, to listen to our needs, and to treat ourselves gently rather than rushing through our life. This gentleness creates the psychological and emotional space necessary to truly be in the moment. Self-love encourages presence because it shifts the focus inward to what feels good and comforting, easeful and nourishing, which naturally pulls us into the here and now. Without it, our mind tends to stay caught up in judgments and distractions or striving, which makes it much harder for us to appreciate the simple richness of the present. So with that self-love lens on, let me share some of the simple things that I do to make my car feel like a cozy little haven. And as I mentioned, it starts with tuning in, checking in to notice what we really want, need, and desire in this moment. Are you craving warmth, comfort, a bit of quiet? Or maybe you want to energize your spirit. Of course, there are the basics of making sure that we are comfortable in the car, like bringing a pair of sunglasses and a water bottle and a sweatshirt. But you know that we can do so much better than that. And I'm sure that no one is surprised to learn that my first go-to way of elevating my journey is to bring a freshly brewed hot cup of tea in a ceramic hot cup so that it maintains the quality and nuance of the flavors, right? No one is the slightest bit surprised by that. And what does every good cup of tea need if not for delicious snacks, right? I recently got these really adorable, brightly colored little Tupperware that have these unicorn stickers on them. And I save these to use only when I'm in transit. And I use one to pack fresh fruit and a piece of dark chocolate. And then I use the other one to put some crackers and a little wedge of brie. And it's just so sweet and adorable. And I just love it. And for me personally, being comfortable also includes staying very, very clean. So you better believe that I have a thick stack of sanitizing hand wipes in my center console. And then after I clean off my hands, I obviously need some luxurious body butter to moisturize my hands with. So that's in there as well. And many, many years ago, I bought a $20 miniature essential oil diffuser that plugs into the cigarette lighter of my car, and it just sits really happily in my little cup holder. And diffusing some lavender oil into my car just immediately transforms that space into something zen and elevated. I highly recommend the miniature essential oil diffuser. And if you listened to the most recent episode of Daily Magic, The Magic of a Soundtrack, you will understand that a car ride is the absolutely perfect moment to tap into that inner music supervisor and curate some underscoring tunes that bring you emotionally into a nurturing and inspiring space. One of the things that I love to do when it comes to choosing music for my car ride is to purposefully save music or full albums that I've never heard before, that I'm really, really excited about hearing for the first time. I save them to only listen to when I'm en route somewhere. And by keeping certain music and certain Tupperware and certain snacks to be set apart as special for when we're driving, we're effectively leveling up the potency of our magic because we're also adding in the magic of anticipation. It's giving us something to look forward to. Just this morning, I was listening to a new to me album from one of my favorite French singers, Emmanuel Moir, and my spirit was genuinely soaring. I was just so alive in those moments. I've also been really into themed audiobooks lately. I've been using my local library to borrow audiobooks to listen to. And by listening to cozy and seasonal audiobooks, we can create such a sensory space for us to inhabit. And on nice days or crisp days, or for me, on rainy days, to quote my late friend writer, I'm a windows down kind of girl. I love the way it feels to have fresh air on my face and blowing through my luxurious hair. But I am equally an obsessive tangle-free hair kind of girl. So I also keep a miniature brush in that magical center console so that I can brush my hair intermittently throughout my journey. This is this is true. I have my brush. So as you can see from my silly yet very honest and true examples, when self-love becomes our guide, we begin to prepare for our time on the road with intention and care, which means that we are actually beginning to think of our journey as an event in and of itself. We have turned the journey into something worth being truly present for. And this causes our relationship with our time in traffic to shift. Over time, we stop looking for the most expedient route and asking, how fast can I get there? And we start asking, how do I want to feel on the way there? And with that question, how do I want to feel on the way there? We may begin to opt for the less trafficked, more peaceful route, or perhaps even choose the rambling, long, scenic way. As we learn to love the journey, we may show love to ourselves by intentionally building in adequate time to reach our destination, no longer pressing ourselves up to the last minute, causing a stressed and anxious commute. When we've allowed ourselves the time to enjoy the drive itself, we're able to look up from the taillights of the driver directly in front of us and truly see the hues of the sky, the wind lifting golden leaves from their autumn branches, sending the foliage raining down on the street like hovering flaxen raindrops. Without rush and hurry pushing us, even a traffic jam can be viewed as welcome moments of relaxation. We settle a little deeper into our seat. Take a few deep, cleansing breaths. Turn on our latest cozy audiobook. Stretch our head, neck, and shoulders a little bit. Take some warming sips of our tea and savor that piece of dark chocolate as we soak up the moment and invoke the magic of traffic, thereby transforming the minutes of waiting and standstill into moments of stillness, presence, and an in-car tea party. And as if a car tea party wasn't lovely enough to build some beautiful anticipation around your time spent in the car, I have also invented a little mindfulness game for us to play, a way to sprinkle some presence into even the stop and go parts of our drive. Okay, so the game goes like this. As you are approaching a stoplight, each color indicates something specific for you to do. So, when you approach a green light, go. Let yourself go. Just be. No need to control or steer your thoughts. Let your mind meander wherever it wants to go. As you approach a yellow light, slow. Begin to intentionally slow your breathing. Can you let your jaw unclench? Can you drop your shoulders a bit? Take a few slow, full, deep breaths and exhalations. As you approach a red light, stop. Truly stop. Not just the car, but your internal momentum. Fully land back in the present moment. Look around. What catches your eye in the environment around you? Check in. How do you feel in this moment? What small act of self-love could you do for yourself right now? It's as simple as that. So, next time you find yourself stuck at a red light, sipping tea with your favorite soundtrack playing, remember, the real magic isn't in the destination. It's the way we learn to see the journey. A quick jaunt to the grocery store can be transformed into calm moments of meditative presence. A trip to the gas station can elicit playful stoplight intentionality, and a daily commute can be scenic revelry, ripe with inspiration, coziness, and of course, snacks. As Marcel Proust once said, the real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes. Be blessed, my beautiful friend. Be light and be the magic.